legislatures and to Parliament about this situation. The fourth one is financially distressed municipalities. Here, the AG emphasized that 5 municipalities in the province have going concern uncertainty, and most of these have been in this position for consecutive years. The municipalities concerned would be City of Tshwane, Merafong City, Rand West, Sedibeng, and West Rand District. Then the other concern is that of reliance on audit processes to achieve unqualified audit opinions. When the municipalities receive unqualified audit opinions on their financial statement, this is often because the Auditor General allows them to correct material misstatements identified during the audit, a practice that is not sustainable and creates delays in finalizing the audit. In other words, they make submission and there are lots of errors, and the Auditor General makes corrections as to what needs to be done and send them back for the municipality to correct. Once they've been corrected, then only they start auditing, which means to an extent the Auditor General is now part of correcting the records and collecting and correcting records that the municipalities should be submitting accurately in the first instance. Then in 2023-24, 3 municipalities in Gauteng were amongst the 46 that received unqualified audit opinions every year for the past 3 years, despite having initially submitted poor quality. In other words, some of the reports that you have are not a result of what the municipality submitted, but are the result of what the Auditor General's office has done to help the municipality to get better outcomes. These were City of Johannesburg, Lesedi, and Rand West municipality, Rand West City. So with these issues, honorable members, honorable Premier, members of the legislature, the approach of the committee is that we will be asking the municipalities to come and give us a brief presentation of their municipality, a process that would take about 5 minutes based on the fact that we had asked them to submit reports earlier. Once that 5 minutes summation has been given, the members will then raise issues. That would be broad issues of governance, issues of the Auditor General's findings, and any other matters that might be raised by members of the public or the media that might require clarification from the municipality. Once that process has been gone into, we will then will give a sense of issues that we as a committee believe need to be acted upon. And out of that process, we're going to be requesting that the provincial government, in the form of the MECs, they need to take responsibility to oversee the implementation of those issues, to set timelines and targets, monitor the implementation, and take reports to ensure that there's progress on these issues, and then report to the Premier, who will table the matters to the provincial legislature. Then the monitoring of all the issues raised by the Auditor General, by the portfolio committees, will then be monitored beyond the municipality by the provincial government. And the same reports would then be furnished to the National Assembly. At this point, we will be tabling a joint report to the National Assembly from the 3 committees that are involved. And we will then be requesting reports every 3 months to show progress on the issues that were identified, and then ensure that there is progress in the way that these matters are being corrected. As a starting point, we want to assume that the municipalities in Gauteng have all submitted their annual financial statements to the Auditor General at the end of on the 31st of August, as is expected. And this I'm mentioning because there are a number of municipalities which got material irregularities on the basis of not submitting annual financial statements by the end or by the deadline that's set by the Auditor General. So from that point of view, we would want to use this process to ensure that there's a change in the culture of accountability, introducing firm monitoring of consequence management that should overall have an impact in improving governance at the municipal level, at ensuring that we deal with dysfunctionality in municipalities. But at the end, we're hoping that will help to strengthen the government machinery for service delivery. We will also be interested in the successes and failures and challenges of municipalities in service delivery. As a result, therefore, we need to make sure that the administrative machinery is properly oiled to be able to provide the services to the communities. So the procedure for this morning is going to be as follows. We will have comments that will come from the Portfolio Committee on SCOPA and the Standing Committee on the AG. Once we've got those comments, we will then invite the Premier to make the comments, and obviously along the lines of issues of the commitment in ensuring that we are able to handle this issue of ensuring accountability and consequence management. And thereafter, we would like to get a overview, a report that will come from the MECs of COGTA and Finance. And once we are done with that, we will then start the process of interaction with the municipalities, a process that should take us probably about 2 hours or so as we go through the discussion, and then we'll do the summation and move to the next municipality. At this point, let me invite my colleagues from SCOPA and from the Standing Committee on the Auditor General to make the comments. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you very much, Chair. And once again, good morning, all protocol observed. It is an honor and a privilege from our part to form part of this oversight visit. And we appreciate the invitation that we received from the Portfolio Committee on COGTA. As SCOPA, one of our core functions is to play an oversight role in our public institution to ensure that there's an effective, efficient, and economic use of our limited public resources. And it is public knowledge that most of our municipalities are found wanting in that particular regard. That is evident in reports that are issued by the Office of the AGSA on annual basis. Very few of our municipalities are able to receive clean audit from the AGSA. Also few that are able to receive an unqualified audit opinion with matters of emphasis. The large chunk of our municipalities, they are either on qualification or on adverse or on disclaimers. So from where we sit as SCOPA, because we interact with different government departments and government entities, we can tell that in local government, we've got more challenges Hence, we appreciate an opportunity to be part of this engagement with our municipalities in this province of Gauteng and the provincial leadership, both on the executive side and on the legislative side. So we hope that through this engagement, we will be able to learn more about the challenges and frustrations that our municipalities are having, or alternatively learn about their successes so that we can take those successes and share with other public institutions. But where there are challenges and frustration, we will be able to advise moving forward or also report back to Parliament and see what to do in order to assist in that regard. Thank you very much, Honourable Chair.
Once again, good morning, everyone. As the Standing Committee on the Auditor General on this joint oversight with COGTA, our role first and foremost is to assist and obviously to support the Auditor General of South Africa in fulfilling its duties. We have come from the Free State, the Northwest. We are now in Gauteng. And what we've seen and we've heard is nothing new, but it's also very concerning. So we respect open and honest discussions. And we, at the same time, recognize the importance of fostering a relationship with the Auditor General and with you yourselves as the auditees, which includes the municipalities. Our goal as a standing committee is to improve the performance of both the AG and your institutions, and to ensure that we work together to achieve better governance and service delivery. And so through this oversight process, we aim to identify areas for improvement and to implement solutions that aligns with the objective of the Standing Committee on the Auditor General and the Auditor General of South Africa. So we're committed to a coordinated approach to municipal oversight, and the focus will be on critical issues such as repeat disclaimer audit opinions and poor financial statement quality. And as we engage in this process, colleagues, we want to emphasize our intention is not to understand the challenges. It's not to apportion blame. And if you are having challenges, that you provide us with what we need to support you and both the Auditor General and municipalities so that you can effectively execute your responsibilities. We are here to listen. We are here to assist. And it is about my belief and those of the committee members present here that if we work together in the spirit of good governance and mutual respect, we can find solutions to all the challenges that we see our municipalities facing. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Are you raising your hand? Oh. Let me hear what the issues are.
Hello. Thank you, Chair. Now, I just wanted to make a quick remark, Chair, if I'm allowed.
No, you will be given an opportunity later when we get to the open discussion. At the moment, we're doing the introductions, and maybe whilst that is going on, you could just come over so we have a quick arrangement so we can see how we deal with the issues that are concerned between. In the meantime, so if you don't mind, you could just come over, we can have a discussion. But in the meantime, let me invite the Premier to make opening remarks, and then we're going to ask for the reports from the MECs thereafter. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair, Dr. Zweli Mkhize. Kindly accept our Greetings, honorable members, in particular chairpersons of this committee, the chairperson of SCOPA and the Standing Committee on the AG. I also want to extend our warm greetings to members of the Executive Council, the MECs that are present, and also the executive mayors. And I want to thank them from the bottom of my heart for respecting this session and being here. Let me also thank members of the provincial legislature, especially those that are members of the Portfolio Committee on COGTA in our legislature, and municipal managers and CFOs that are here. Chair, let me start by also welcoming the chairperson and members of the Portfolio Committees on Local Government and Traditional Affairs. As the Gauteng provincial government, we value this engagement as it helps us to expedite processes of improving municipal governance in our province. We are indeed humbled by our presence, and we want to assure you not only of our cooperation, but full support in some of the matters that you want them to be brought to our attention. As a province, we had a provincial local government summit in 2024, where all municipalities were present, as well as the provincial government, to coordinate a roadmap that will allow us to coordinate our work, integrate our support system, and most importantly, have a shared vision. I'll come later on some of the areas that we have agreed upon and the work that we have done thus far. The province has also established a cohesive, integrated, and collaborative service delivery response system. This system assists us to pick up issues ward by ward so that we can have an understanding of the challenges that our communities are facing. The integrated service response system seeks to promote optimal use of resources to effect a qualitative shift in how people's needs are identified, responded to, and resolved. In our effort to strengthen the relationship with the people of Gauteng, we opted to use this modern technology, which is automated and which can be followed up on issues that have not been attended to by local authorities. To date, we've responded to 22,666 responses, especially that are coming from what we call TISH wards. This is our townships, informal settlement, and hostels. This integrated approach is mapped, and every time we meet with the executive mayors or leadership of local authorities, we provide an update on the concerns that have been raised. Every 2 years, as the Gauteng provincial government, we also conduct a research on the conditions of life of our people in the province. The report has been released last year. Chair, we'll also share with you where majority of our communities have raised their limitations and their concerns on mainly what we have characterized as G13 issues. These are the 13 issues that our communities have been complaining about throughout the last 2 or 3 years. In our discussions as the Executive Council, we also added one additional challenge that we feel that if it's not appropriately addressed, it is also going to create problems, which are dolomites that are happening in our province, in particular in the West Rand. It is out of this interaction, Chair, that we really believe your presence will assist us to accelerate the need to resolve these matters, but most importantly, to reformulate our approach, especially on matters of budgets and issues related to service delivery in our areas. Beside the issue of coalition challenges that we have in the province, with literally 10 of 11 municipalities that we have in the province are run through coalition governments. This has brought its own challenges and its own limitations. The following municipalities, since the beginning of this year, have to attend to issues of vote of no confidence on the executive mayors. That is Johannesburg, Ekurhuleni, Sidibeng, and Western. We've reached a stage where we really believe that there needs to be a coordinated approach to deal with, even if it's to formulation of a framework, because it's this instability caused by motions of no confidence that have affected some of our municipalities at the governance level and changes that has affected members of the mayoral committees when new leadership come into effect. We note and observe the concerns that have been raised thus far and want to deposit the following issues as matters of our immediate attention. As earlier indicated, Chair, we have identified what we call Gauteng 13 problems, and we call them G13. The following problems are the 13 problems that we've identified, and collectively, ourselves as the provincial government and all municipalities have embraced as our agenda to resolve challenges facing people of Gauteng. 1, water. 2, cable theft and vandalism. 3, non-functional traffic lights. 4, potholes. 5, crime and lawlessness. 6, mushrooming of informal settlement. 7, challenges related to electricity or energy. 8, increase of gender-based violence. 9, drug abuse. 10, services at our hospitals. 11, lack of schools or enough space of schools in our areas. 12, failing infrastructure, in particular our CBDs. And 13, unemployment. We've then added the issue of dolomite, which is a big challenge in our province, especially in West Rand. Within that context, therefore, we've characterized these problems as Gauteng 13+1. What we've done, we've then formulated a roadmap in which each and every municipality need to give us feedback on this. To date, we've met 4 times as part of our integrated government relations meetings coordinated by the Office of the Premier, and it's within this context that I also want to thank all the executive mayors for their attendance and support. We are quite aware that we are also going to host a very important activity called the G20, where heads of state will descend in our province, and we need to put put our best foot forward to accommodate and ensure that our province is hospitable. On the basis of that, within the Gauteng G13, we have added the G20 preparations. Honorable Chair, we meet every Tuesday. We've been doing that for the last 3 months. We meet every Tuesday with all local authorities and elevate and uplift issues related to service delivery. This range from availability of water, energy, improvement of our roads, street lights, cleaning of the province, and most importantly, crime prevention related matters. I must emphasize we are not doing this purely because we've got visitors. We felt that is a foundation that we need to establish, even though beyond the visitors of G20, we can continue to render services to our people. And thus far, we've got a long list of potholes that we've filled, traffic lights that we've fixed, as well as a number of street lights that we are attending to. Chair, I want to take advantage of your presence here as well to indicate the long list of support that we've provided to local authorities. As a provincial government with a limited mandate and limited budget, there are matters that we've elevated so that we can strengthen local authorities. For example, the municipality in Fuleni, which we believe is a municipality that needs immediate attention, we had engagement with the municipality and requested them to advance issues that they need immediate support. They then advanced the need to improve 40 of their west roads, and on the basis of that, we as the provincial government gave them funds, and we also from our provincial government fixed 40 of their west roads as part of strengthening support, but most importantly, creating opportunities for our people. To us, roads is a starting point of an economic development or economic growth, and we are proud that we've succeeded, we've executed this mission easily. In the face of load shedding, we had discussion with the city of Johannesburg, where we also requested them to identify areas where we can support them, because as a provincial government, we don't have a mandate on energy. We entered into an agreement with Johannesburg's City Power, and on the basis of that, we fixed almost 402 of the 450 transformers that were non-functional in our townships, informal settlements, and hostels. We also made a huge investment to re-establish the power stations that were closed in the municipality, and 2 of them received our funding. This is also our support to ensure that we strengthen local authorities. The other area which we are proud of, Chair, which is new, and I want to thank all the executive mayors, and in particular the MEC responsible for COGTA. We are of the strong view that to fight crime, one municipality alone will never be in a position to fight crime. What we've done as part of our provincial response to high level of kidnappings, murder, CITs, bombings, and many other related matters, we started a process to have a crime fighting strategy that can be adopted by all municipalities. Each and every municipality went to their council meeting and they approved this strategy. As I'm speaking to you now, we've pulled all our resources, the cars, CCTV cameras, personnel of all municipalities and private sector, and we have pulled them together under the direct command of the SAPS. With this, the personnel that the police had quadrupled. The resources from cars, drones were also quadrupled and increased. And in the last 4 months, we've been visiting each and every region, collectively, each and every municipality without any boundary. Tshwane, Ekurhuleni, and Mfuleni, all the municipalities will go to each and every municipality and do operations there, utilizing all our resources. In this regard, 1,070 of the most wanted criminals in our province were apprehended through this process. This is a demonstration of the partnership that we have done to ensure we work together with all municipalities to deal with the challenges that we have. We've also partnered with municipalities on the issues of clinics and the management of ambulances, where the province play a coordinating role and provide the necessary support that we need. As I close, Chair, there are matters that we want to recommend for our immediate attention. The first one, obviously, is the funding models of local government. We are of the strong view that the current funding models of local government is not only outdated, but it has been superseded by many activities that makes things difficult. To quote one example, is that those that can afford to pay have migrated to solar system. And majority of our key payers, in particular shopping malls, factories, have now migrated utilizing solar system as part of ensuring that they've got a stable energy. In return, this affects the funding patterns of all local authorities. The second area, Chair, and we are raising it not in a manner that is negative, but is to either manage it so that it does not affect the finances of our municipalities and services that we are rendering in our province, is the sudden surge of undocumented foreign citizens, and across all levels, not only those that are coming from our continent, but those that are coming even from Europe. These numbers are too much, and we don't have a mechanism in the format of managing how to give them services, but most importantly, how to recoup resources that are needed for government to function. With these numbers, we are seeing an unprecedented numbers of informal settlement, hijacking of buildings, and non-payment of services, including illegal connections of some of our key services, in particular energy and water. This have a direct bearing on the resources of our municipalities. Chair, a disaster that we have identified and we've requested national government to assist us is unfolding, and this disaster is happening in Merafong, where almost half, if not more, part of that municipality is dolomatic. When it rains, houses get swallowed, schools get swallowed, roads get swallowed. And if we don't respond collectively as government, a major disaster is about to happen, and all of us will be pointing fingers when this matter needs to be attended as soon as possible. Our communities are refusing to be relocated. purely because the hard-earned money they've invested in their houses and where we want to relocate them and provide the kind of housing, the disparities are too much. You can't move, for example, for a 6-roomed house to an RDP house where you have families, you have furniture and other related matters. We need to think out of the box and confront this problem as soon as possible so that majority of our people can be relocated before they are swallowed by these dolomites. The other area, Chair, is a sudden increase of killings in our province, especially whistleblowers within local government authorities. Yesterday, we made an announcement that a new political task team will be established because there are so many CEOs, so many municipal managers, officials of government that have been killed in the last 7 years or so. These cases have not been investigated or followed up, and we don't want them to be cold cases forever. And it's within this context that we've made an arrangement with the SAPS to assist us so that those that are working for local government should be protected, and those that identify corruption should also be provided with the necessary assistance and support. We remain hopeful that this committee will also support us to ensure that we've got local government where people can work without fear or favor. As earlier indicated, Chair, the issue of motions of no confidence are causing administrative and governance disruptions, and we are starting to lose key skilled people in some of these municipalities because they can't stomach or stand the change of leadership that happens literally when these motions are conducted. And there is an urgent need, therefore, to build a very strong base in terms of skills development and skill support. The last area that we want to recommend to you, and we are working very hard as the provincial government, is the indigent policy. There are many people who can afford to pay for services, but they're hiding behind the poor. And it's very important that a common indigent policy across all municipalities is introduced, coordinated. That will be spot on every time somebody gets employment. You don't have to ask those people to come to our offices to terminate the support, but it can be done automatically. This is the support that we want to give to municipalities to enhance their relevance, their role, but most importantly, their financial viability. So in terms of our commitment, Chair, know that we are willing to work with you, cooperate with you, and with the local municipalities that we have in our province. We are trying very hard to improve the support system. You will see from their last audit outcomes that at least we have moved from 1 to 2 municipalities with clean audits out of the 11 municipalities that we have in our province. We're encouraged that some of the municipalities have developed through SALGA a preparation audit teams so that we can eliminate areas where things can be resolved before the Auditor General come and audit this municipality. We'll continue to provide this kind of support. And I'm proud that the government that I have the honor to lead, Honorable Chair, we've received our audit outcomes yesterday from the Auditor General. And I'm proud to announce that last year we had 22 departments that had clean audits. When I say clean audits, I mean clean audits without any form of findings. We've moved from 22 in 2024 to 23 in 2025, demonstrating our commitment to clean audit and the need to work on. We are looking forward to our findings and we hope you enjoy our province and we'll work together to support you. Thank you so much for your attention. Truly appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Honorable Premier, for your opening remarks. I know why you are now already getting to entertain people on the side. Everyone is already wanting to send you this special message. We decided to locate this session here to coincide with a special celebration. So happy birthday to Premier Lesufi. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Premier.
Happy birthday to you. Hip hip.
Thank you. Don't ask that question. You're going to make him shy. Thank you very much. May we invite the MEC for COGTA to give us his report. We want to have a sense of what's happening with your municipalities in this province. Thank you very much. Please proceed.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Chair. And once more to all honorable members, Honorable Premier, MEC, mayors, councillors, MMCs, everybody who's here. Chair, the Premier has really covered sufficient ground, and I would like to just fully support and endorse what the Premier has said. I shouldn't really say much because the Premier has spoken. I just want to build on the points that the Premier has made and maybe elevate one or two points. The very first one is that our overarching approach, Chair, to how we do our work with the municipalities, as the Premier said, is based on the province-wide local government turnaround summit that the Premier has referred to already. That took place on the 23rd and 24th of October 2024, which was a very successful summit that we held in our very first year of this administration. So I just thought, let me emphasize that point and indicate that currently we have appointed, working with the mayors, various MMCs and some of the mayors who are convening and chairing the work streams. We have asked them to submit turnaround plans, and that's where the process is. And we now have an IGR meeting every Thursday. We started 2 weeks back, where we do turnaround oversight. Every Thursday we monitor the turnaround work, and that's going on very well. The second point that the Premier has made, and I just want to also emphasize it, is that we are supporting our municipalities. We're working with municipalities on a principle of the 3 spheres of government working together: cooperative governance, good intergovernmental relations, partnering with municipalities, hand-holding and supporting municipalities. That doesn't exclude robustness on consequence management, but what we are seeing, Chair, in the province and honorable members, is that things tend to work much more better when we partner, when we work together, because the nature of the problems that we have is that no single sphere of government can deal with these challenges alone, as the Premier correctly said. So we're working with the municipalities, and to that extent, every Monday, we hold IGR with MMCs of corporate services, where we look at communication in municipalities. One of the issues that has not been looked at over the years is to strengthen municipal communication, to engage and interact with communities. And we have seen this is an area of weakness, except of course in the metros. So on Tuesdays, the point that the Premier has made about integrated service delivery, working with municipalities through a memorandum of understanding, where we have a seamless integrated space for law enforcement, community, public safety operations. So that we monitor every Tuesday through an IGR committee that we've established, and the Premier convenes, chairs, and sometimes I chair it on behalf of the Premier, but every Tuesday. And this was made possible by the fact that the Premier took the function of community safety into his office, and that has enabled integration. And I think we remain grateful and thankful to the Premier for that decision. At least now we're working with all our municipalities regulated through an MOU. So that's working very well. On Wednesdays, we monitor water. Since we faced the challenge of a shutdown of water systems, collapse of water systems in November 2024, we have established a weekly IGR committee, working with the National Department of Water and Sanitation, with Rainwater, all our municipalities, SALGA, as well, where we monitor water supply in the province. And that's how we avoided what was called day zero. Even last night we met, we know where is the water supply in the province, and we do that every Wednesday. On Thursdays, as I said, we look at turnarounds and we integrate that with infrastructure. Our Thursday IGR meetings have helped us to convene first of its kind town planning and municipal approvals workshop, where we are trying to make the town planning function efficient and effective, to streamline decisions on investments in municipalities, to make sure municipal spaces are competitive for strategic investments, particularly capital formation, and making sure that municipal spaces are productive spaces to sustain municipal services, but also finances. So what we are seeing, Chair, as I move to the last point, is the robust weekly IGR system we have set up. It's working very well. We thank municipalities for their responsiveness. It strengthened the PCF that is chaired by the Premier with the mayors, and we think this new method of weekly IGR is actually helping us. Things that MAC
on unfunded budgets for 2025-2026 financial year, the tabling and adoption of unfunded budgets by municipalities still remain a challenge. For the 2025-2026 adopted budgets, only 5 municipalities out of 11 adopted funded budgets. These municipalities include City of Ekurhuleni, City of Johannesburg, City of Tshwane, Mohali City Local Municipality, and Midvaal Local Municipality. This demonstrates a slight increase from